Hey everyone. Yeah. Give it a couple minutes. Well, there's one. Oh. Hey Chipper. Just scrolling through Facebook. Yeah, I did some Facebook a little while ago. And, and then I don't know what I decided to give this a try again. As soon as I get a tick off of me, I didn't spray in the woods. Uh oh. Somebody somebody was here but then went away. That's all right. How is everyone today? Or how are you? It's one person. It's hot here. Or I guess it's still not crazy hot. About 90 degrees. But I've been busy. Hey Wes. Hey Bobo. Of course I called Bobo ahead of time. And I'm like, hey, why don't you get ready to log in? I'm thinking of doing a live. So what have you guys been up to today? Hey D-Mac. Anything exciting? Oh yeah, Wes. You're on your way home from your trip. How did it go? Well, of course you always go around the whole world. Oh, Dwayne. Steaks on the grill. Man, everyone's busy. D-Mac, when are you moving? Like literally in a month? Like a month from today or just sometime next month? 17th of August. So Wes, you're making pretty good time going home. Are you guys going straight through? Or are you stopping and relaxing or visiting? D-Mac, I hate moving. It's so stressful to me. Man, steaks are the note for the day on here. Thinking of making noodles and some sausage. Nothing near as awesome as grilling a steak. I guess I could, but mm, man, I'm glad you've been settled. But hopefully this will be a move for a while. Wes, it was really good to see you when you guys came up for our mag meeting. That was a very big blessing. I'd say Bobo being there was a blessing, but since it was basically his house, you know, I guess he didn't have to be there, but I figured he would. Let's see, what else have I done this weekend? I've been working on cast iron today. I had a had I have a potbelly or a little potbelly cast iron that's not very big uh, that I put oil in, like fry oil, and stored it in there like a fool. And so I had to clean that out. Took it to the car wash, And I put in a couple bucks to hose on the high pressure rinse. And so I let it go for 2 minutes just to get any soap or anything out of the system as much as I could. And of course, swamp internet no good. Well, Wes, that's where you're driving through, isn't it? That is all swamp. Yes, I already talked to Babo. So that round cast iron potbelly Dutch oven or oven, or pot, I guess it's just a pot if it doesn't have a lid. That water just came right out and soaked me. And of course it was grease, you know, greasy water. Oh, it's crazy. Hey, sheepdog. And so I did that, and I ended up doing, I guess I've got 2 Dutch ovens, a 12 and a 10, and a skillet. Of course, it's actually more of a griddle slash lid, kind of a combo, but it was just the lid. And what else do I have? I guess that's it. I've got all that in the oven. No, I was not. So Chipper, I had thought about making a video. Yes, Black Log Dutch oven cast iron is what I'm talking about. But I'd thought about making a video on it. But I'm not the best Dutch oven guy or cast iron guy. And so I really, I read my book, and one of my friends, Prepper Rob, who did the APN, the Arkansas Preparedness Network, last fall, had an event at Devil's Den State Park here in northwest Arkansas where they had a cast iron cook-off. Well, Scout, my son, had asked Prepper Rob to come help him compete in that. And so Rob was kind of a ringer because he's a competitor. I mean, he travels to all kinds of cast iron competitions. And D-Mac, I do like him. I'm just, unfortunately, I am not as vigilant as I should be in maintaining them. And I'm, and I've got all the parts and pieces, the non-abrasive scrubber. I keep salt around. I always have oil. And I'm trying to. The learning the maintenance is, well, that's what I'm doing. I started watching a channel on 18th century cooking. And then another one, I think that one is called Townsend. Townsend something. That maybe just be it. But it's like a Revolutionary War reenactor page. And so I like that. And then I think Ken Rollins, maybe, the cowboy cook. Oh man, I wish I remembered. He was on the Food Network star. Anyway, he always like chuck wagon cooking. Man, you guys sound way better at cast iron stuff than I am. I mean, I've used it for a long time, my whole life, but just not the best. So Wes just said that Chipper66 was harassing birds. If you don't subscribe to his channel, you should, because he's got a great video this morning of him filming baby birds. I think it was great, but possibly harassing them a little bit. D-Mac, I do cook on, well, I mean, I do over the fire too, because it's, that's what I use when I'm camping too, but here at the house, or the ones at the house, are the ones that I have, and I have a gas stove. So, and the big deal was I left that pot belly. I left oil in it for a long time, and so it kind of, you yes. So I've got my both of my Dutch ovens and my pot-bellied pot in the oven. I cleaned them really good. You know, hot iron, hot water, and I oiled them really good. And they've been in my oven. Of course, I turn it as hot as it'll go, and I put them in there, and I guess they were in there for about an hour and a half, or however long I was home, Bobo, about an hour and 20 minutes. And it was really hot, and then I turned off the heat. But I'm leaving the door closed, and so it'll gradually cool down. Of course, my house is 85 degrees or almost 90 degrees. So it's not going to cool down terribly fast. And Wes, he did take a long time to do that. And I'm going to go back. Sorry, I didn't know how to do that. Oh, there, David Snow. It's great. I guess I was just tired and hot, so I thought I'd sit down and talk to some of my friends. How are you today? I'm seeing the video of Chipper 66's birds. It's a great video. I enjoyed it. Delaware Patriot. I agree. People, they cook too high on it, and they are not patient enough to let it get warm, or let your Dutch oven or your cast iron get hot before you start to cook in it. And I'm as guilty of that as anybody, actually. More so than some, even. But I have a limited repertoire, I guess, when it comes to cast iron. Sorry, I get distracted. I try to read. And but yeah, so I cook sausages and breakfast pretty regular. And David, I'm glad you're doing well. Wes, man, I'm glad. Again, so glad you came up. So I cook, I don't do steaks on them. I do those on the grill. But I'll do like breakfast sausage and bacon. I just did a ton of bacon that I stole from Bobo's house. I left the car wash with the cast iron, and I hose it off and I put it in the back of the truck. And I'm like, okay, I got to get home so I can get this done, because in case anything stayed wet, And so I called him and he said, hey, I got some bacon. So I pulled up in his driveway, and I'm like, because it's like 2 blocks from the car wash. And I'm like, give me the bacon, hurry up. I don't know. So, DMAC, let me rephrase that. My bride has an enamel cast iron that she just loves. And the thing she likes the most about it is she feels safe doing more, I guess, more acidy things than I like her to do in my cast iron. I guess it's all our cast iron, but I'm pretty picky. With the exception of, if I know without a doubt, I've got plenty of time to clean it and re-season it, then I can do chili or something in my cast iron. But for the most part, I try to stay away from acidy stuff, except for one. I have one skillet that I've had for a long time, and it's got a great coating on it, great seasoning. And sorry, um, yeah, DMAC. And I read that or I heard it. So that's not something that I mean, I learned it from somebody else. And I learned it as a result of I had first bought a my first potbelly, because I like potbelly cast iron. I hate cleaning them, but I really like, I don't know, I like using them over the campfire. An ambulance or a ambulance. It's easy to tell where we live because our ambulances have two sirens on the front, and so that particular one has two sirens. Let's give it. Hey, Lone Wolf. And but yeah, I'm getting better at it. And those two channels, the Cowboy Cook and that 18th Century Cooking, really have me itching to try some new things in my cast iron. And that's the reason I got that potbelly out and decided to do more than just store oil in it. So I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna do a vegetable stew, and that's a big deal. Prepping in progress. Thank you for coming. He's another one that I called and get. Hey, I'm gonna do a live stream. Are you gonna be around? I don't know. Take your time, Chipper. I'll be here until I think Bear Independent has a interview that I want to catch in a while, but I don't know what time yet. I'm hoping the little bell over here will go off. Yeah, Wes, I'm trying to do new things. I would pretty basic with just cooking meat and vegetables, and not being real creative, except for like I like to make dump cakes or cobblers. Those are kind of the scout leader go-tos. You know, you've got to make a cobbler, or you're not much of a scout leader. And I've tried biscuits a couple of times. I've tried. For some reason I can't get the. You know, I know to turn the bottom and then turn the lid, and I just don't. Cornbread. Okay, so Bobo, I use my cornbread. I use it in my skillet, and I just put it in my oven. Where's your cobbler? Oh, see, my friend Rob, D-Mac, I'm talking about you're stacking them. He's got two sets of his cast iron that, you know, are stacked by size. So he starts, you know, he's got his main dish and his side dishes all in one stack. So that, I'm not saying I want to get there someday, but I enjoy it. It's a good challenge because it's easy to cook basic stuff. I mean, you know, like throw a burger in it is nothing, or for the most part, I like to do sausages, like Polish sausages or kielbasa. Snails and humans. Not real high up on my list, Wes, but I'll keep that in mind. And I guess of course, I've been a scout and a scout leader my entire life, for as long as I can remember. and that's a big deal. But there was a guy named Jim Ragsdale, and he's actually written a couple of Dutch oven cookbooks. And he was from, well, he's actually from Rogers, Arkansas, I believe. Rogers are just right south of there. So Rogers. And there is another ambulance. Huh. I feel like maybe I should check my scanner. Wes, have you really tried snails in Dutch oven? Google 5? Hey, hi, how are you? Midwest Prepper, hey, how are you? I actually just watched a couple of your videos. Let's see, what else have I? Really, that's all that I've really ever cooked. I've tried chili in a Dutch oven one time, but I had one of those foil liners in it. So I guess I don't know if that counts as cooking in Dutch oven or on cast iron or not. Delaware Patriot, that's funny. What do you guys like to cook in there other than humans and snails? Less. So what are your guys' go-to recipe for your Dutch ovens? Or any cast iron, it doesn't have to be that. Hey Terry. Can you really have too much cast iron? I mean, I know some people say you can. But if you go to cook, French fries, yes, I do French fries in mine. Apple pie, Midwest Prepper, we gotta talk, brother, that's awesome. Pot roast and potatoes, pulled pork. I haven't even thought of that. Pot roast would be good. And you have an awesome Dutch oven, Bobo, and you can have it back after tonight. David Snow. I like fried taters. I guess I make those. I do like a breakfast scramble that I like, and it's just basic, just hash browns or cut up potatoes and eggs and peppers and onions. And, oh, baked beans. That's a good thing. So Terry, I've seen people with aluminum Dutch ovens. Is the heating as consistent as it is with cast, or is it the same? I don't know. Blackberry cobbler. You should have to come try that, and let's see how that aluminum does with blackberry cobbler. And Stephen, I noted, or prepping in progress, sorry. Ribs. That's what Prepper Rob likes to make. He made those and really good. Rattlesnake. You cooked rattlesnake? I mean, I've eaten rattlesnake, but I've always just roasted it. I've never cooked it in an oven. That sounds good. I guess so. The advantage to the aluminum is just the weight issue. Because I don't know if Delaware Patriot is the same as me. I just try to. I mean, I have some aluminum cookware. I'm not going to say that I don't, but it's not my favorite. Rattlesnake with bacon. See, you're going to make me go start snake hunting. And I'm scared of snakes, y'all. They scare the bejesus out of me. Oh my gosh, I'm scared of them. I'll eat them. I don't mind them when they're dead. They, me not seeing them. I guess if I see them, I mean, I can walk up on them if I see them. But if they surprise me, holy mackerel, I just come unglued. Yes, I scream like a girl, Bobo. Delaware Patriot, that's kind of my thoughts too. And it's just from one or two studies. And I'm not sure if it's just if you're scratching stuff or if you have good quality intact aluminum. I don't know if it where the harm is. Midwest prepper, you're killing me. So if you hear the clicking, it's I'm nervous, so I'm fiddling with a knife. Oh well. I hate all that. Gave up Hot Pockets. Yeah, I do like Dakota Cast. Iron Man Spartans 2. What do I think on Gerber knives? Well, so Gerber has different tiers of quality. I say quality. And Bobo, I wish Mr. Clean was on here. So when you go, like I got to go to, I've been blessed to go to SHOT Show for the last couple of years. And when you go, they have, and you see Gerber there, and they're set up with their booth, and they have, I was about to say this is a Kershaw, but I thought this may be Gerber. So they have your big box store Gerbers, and then they have tiered up or different quality knives, and so I have a couple of Gerber multipliers that I've had for a long time, and I love them. The sounds of the city. It's a nice car. And I have a Gerber Light. That's, good Lord, I've had it for, 20 years. And it's held up. But it's like with anything. Well, even Kershaw has different levels. And I'm a Spyderco guy, and they have the same thing. They have an everyday knife, and then they have some higher end stuff, which I can't ever afford the higher end. Here's a Jimmy Lai knives. The name sounds familiar, so I've probably seen them at a show somewhere, trade show, but I'm not familiar with them because I am not. I mean, I like knives, but I'm not as observant, or I don't know the right word. I'm not as observant or thoughtful, I guess, picky on knives as I am, because I'm not very knowledgeable. So like when somebody tells me their knife is XYZ steel, I don't know the difference. And this doesn't say on it. 1300 WM. Anyway, no, prepping in progress. I am not a knife fanboy. But I know people that are. Mr. Clean, who's in some of my videos, he knows every knife company. He knows he knows what they're coming out with next. He knows their high end stuff, their mid end stuff. Uh, you know, and so he's my go-to person. Uh, see now, I have a buck 110 that I got from my father. Let me rephrase that. Scout has a buck 110 because my father collected knives, and the knives that he used, he never got rid of almost his whole life. And so when he passed away a couple years ago, I chose to give those to Scout. And so when he's a little older, he can look at them, and he maintains them. Um, and when he gets older, he'll get those. And one of those is a buck 110. Benchmade. I have a Benchmade that I was given as a thank you gift for I want to say a leadership conference that I taught. Biddy boo. Uh, and it was really nice. It's light. I've lost it 5 or 10 times and had to come across it again. And then Kershaw are kind of who I like the most. 47 years old. Man, Terry, you take some good care of your stuff. That's awesome. Hey, Frank. And let's see. Central Florida Prepper. We are just hanging out, talking, and I have been great. How are you? So the guys are talking a little bit about cast iron, stainless steel, titanium, juice. Hey, and man, I have a titanium cup that fits on like the bottom of an Nalgene bottle, and it's about, I don't know, about that deep. I want to say it's 500 milliliters. But that's the only thing titanium that I have, just because it's a little pricey. That's not true. I have a titanium CRKT Eaton tool or spork that I have, and I bought it totally out of the novelty of owning a titanium spork. Bobo, spork. So the first year that Bobo and I went to SHOT Show, I was having a problem, not being able to take tools like this on on the airplane, because we flew from Northwest Arkansas to Las Vegas, where SHOT Show is, and so I couldn't take a multi-tool and all this. It was all in my checked bag, but I was having EDC issues. And so I'm looking on the list of approved items, and they're like, a spork is an approved item. And so the CRK Eaton tool, I wish I had one handy, is it's only that big, but it's got some nut drivers on it. It's got a flathead screwdriver. And it's a spork. But it's also that large hole in the middle of it is so you can put it on your fist. So not that I'm intending on go get one. They're in the shed, Bobo. I don't want to go to the shed. I cleaned out the shed yesterday, and I moved the stuff into the shed. Next time, I'll have a spork next time. So I thought, well, so what if I'll try it, and if I get through TSA security with it, then yay, at least I've got a nut driver and a screwdriver. Yes, but we had a huge discussion. I was concerned, guys. I don't like being without tools. I'm already at a disadvantage already because I'm not an operator guy, rah. And so I don't. I if I'm in a fight, I've got to cheat. There is no such thing as a fair fight, and so if I got to have every tool or advantage I can think of. And so we went to the airport, and we empty Chipper. Yes. So the only reason that we don't drive out there is because it's probably my fault. Um, no, I made it through. I've been to Florida with my sport too, and so we don't drive out there because it would take a couple extra days, and there and a couple extra days back. And I guess I'm using that as an excuse to not talk about the real issue. I have degenerative disc disease. And so sitting even for 3 hours on a flight, uh, I'm uncomfortable. And I know being big doesn't help that issue, but because I've got the back problems, it's just easier for me. And I'm going on this as not only as a business trip to try to get more knowledge and better products for Adventure Frontier, but I'm also going to have fun and have a vacation. And so um, get a prescription for an RV. Yeah, but I don't know if I want to be around Bobo and Mr. Clean for that long. Okay, back to the sport. I'm sorry, Bobo, I got distracted. So we get to the airport, and you dump out all your stuff in your little. And I'd already. I'm wearing shoes that are really on and off easy shoes. I'm wearing shorts with no metal. Um, Iron Man, I very much am. And God is great and can help us through all things. He's the ultimate prep, is to be close to God. And and then I had a T-shirt on, so I had very little to mess with security. And of course, you set your shoes in there and all that stuff. And I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh, they're gonna throw my spork away. I wasn't worried about getting tackled like Florida said, but and it went through just fine. And so on the other side of security, we took a picture of Spork and said, "Look, Spork made it through." And Bobo and I were so tickled, or maybe it was just me, um, that we started taking pictures of this eating tool, of this Spork, everywhere. My favorite picture is Spork sitting on two um, squad automatics sitting between them. And so we even started a Facebook page called The Adventures of Spork. And it's just fun. And actually, I've got people that have bought Sporks from me, The Adventures of Spork, or that I've given Sporks to, that send us pictures all the time from all over the country. Spork's actually been to Canada. He is. Where is the last? Where is Marshall at? Northern Alaska right now. And so there's lots of fun with the Spork thing. And actually, for a real eating tool, it sucks. It's too short. You can't stir anything with it. It's only that long. And so if you're using a pot or anything, they have an Eaton Tool Extra Large, which is actually what I carry in my bug out bag. And I like it because it's a real spoon length. and I don't know. I like it. It could be a little bit better, but I like that it's still got nut drivers on it. It's got screwdrivers, so it's a multi tool, but it also serves the purpose. Do not try to take a stainless steel straw. Terry, I'll take your word for it. I take it they didn't like that. They harassed you. And anyway, so the sport thing was fun. And now it's a kind of, I put it in different things. Ironman Spartan, corned beef hash or Spam for camping. Well, I am not a corned beef hash or corned beef hash fan. And so, and I actually like turkey Spam quite a bit actually. But so of those two, I'd have to go with Spam. And fried. I like it warm and crispy on the edges. Which do you prefer? See, I guess I've just never been really exposed a whole lot to corned beef hash. Unless Bobo or Prepping in Progress think that's something that we can do on a Thursday. Is turkey Spam legal? Yes, I'm sure it's legal. Oh, you kill me sometimes, Wes. Fried Spam and brown sugar with fried pineapples. And Viking Preparedness just posted on his Patreon channel. Sorry, everyone. I'm back. Oh, yeah. I got a phone call, so I apologize. I've never had it. I guess, like, I guess I've never had it by someone who enjoyed cooking it. So, treat. So treat is kind of like Spam, I thought. And Vaini sausages are the bomb. Ironman sardines, they're okay. My daughter tears into them. I'm more of like a kipper snack or a fish fillet, halibut fillet guy. I like oysters. Oh, you cook? Okay, Prepping in Progress. It's a deal. Keith, I don't know if it is or not. Corned beef hash. I may have to do some research. Your dogs don't take your sardines from you. Do you do sardines in oil or in mustard? Or is there other options other than oil and mustard? Oil or tomato sauce? Maybe that's what I was thinking. Oh, I bet you'll get hungry enough you can eat them. So, across the street, I'll have to tell you later. Let's see, what other... I didn't say it was water. It is. But I saw something humorous, so... called Scrapple. I've heard about Scrapple, but I've never had it. Um, Part of like combining spam and sausage. Sounds good. Cooked with sardines with onions and spices, veggies and rice. That doesn't sound too bad. I mean, again, sardines aren't my primary canned fish. So, what do you guys think about uh, canned salmon or salmon, whichever one you want to call it? I call it salmon, like salmon patties or yes, DMAC. I had a guy, one of my buddies, fix that for me at a scout function. That is some good stuff. Good stuff. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see him next Saturday. Tuna fish. I like a lot of tuna fish. But I can eat tuna fish. Just open a can and drain a can and eat tuna fish. Smoked salmon is the best. That's actually was going to be dinner, but my wife's Bible study group convened a little bit early, and so she left, and it's just me and Scout. And he leaves for church camp in the morning, and so uh, he asked for a little bit of time on his video game because we regulate how long he can do that each day. But since he's going to be gone for a week, we negotiated, and he helped clean the kitchen more than his share, because his cleaning the kitchen and the trash are part of his regular chores. Salmon croquettes. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. Terry, how do you fix that? And SpaghettiOs are awesome. Mackerel for trapping raccoons. Okay, I've used tuna for in my trap line before. DMAC, that's how I like it too. I've got some planks that I bought off an old barn actually, but and I just soak them in regular water, right out of the sink. Have I dug a pit to do a hog spit or a hog roast? So, not me by myself. I was on. I was. Beef is awesome. I love cow. I was 16, and I just got in the fire service. And our neighboring fire department, their big fundraiser for the year, was a pig roast. And I had just done my basic training classes at their department. Because our departments were so little, we combined to get everyone together. Anyway, so to have a full class. And our class ended on a Friday night, and they were saying, hey, why don't you guys just hang out, stay the night with us? We're fixing to put the pig in the ground. I'm scared. Someone come hold my hand. And so they had a backhoe come dig the hole, and it was already dug, and they built a huge fire, let it burn down, put a layer of dirt, put the pig in. It was great. Central Florida, have a great night. Thanks for coming, and I'm certain when it's storming that I will get called out, and I will be getting wet and out in the weather. That's just one of the things of doing what I do. And the storm is coming, and I would love to send it your way. but it's supposed to rain a little bit. I just hope it doesn't flood my tomatoes. It has been so wet here. Most of my garden has just drowned, and the only thing I have left are a couple tots, and I've got several tomato plants and some herbs. 2 pork shoulders on the 4th, man. That sounds exciting. Oh. In a couple of weeks, Betty Boo will want it here in a couple of weeks. But in all seriousness, when people get really stupid and there's an interstate in our coverage area and a highway, they get stupid when it rains. So, okay, this is what I've been waiting for. So, Terry, a can of salmon, an egg, crunch up a roll of Ritz crackers, mix it up, fry it like hamburgers. Man, that sounds good. I'm gonna try that. Yeah, sounds easy. Here it comes. So, it's almost been an hour, and I'm certain I'm gonna get to go play in the rain. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been a really good conversation. You guys amaze me every time that you even want to converse with me. Screenshot the recipe. I don't know if I can do that. So maybe. Oh, I got it. So I will post that, Terry's recipe, in the community section on the channel. And then we'll have to, I'll try that and see how it turns out. Bobo, you missed your chance to mow the other day. So you're just out of luck for a couple days. Keith, I wish we only had 9 miles. Oh yeah. I've got 20 miles of interstate and 27 miles of really straight and crappy highway. And that keeps us hopping. Alright, so I'm going to go so I can get into my more appropriate clothes for the weather. At least it's not cold and wet. It'll just be wet. I'll post that in the community section as soon as I can. And you guys have a great night. And it's going to be storming, so Terry, thanks for your recipe. I'm excited. I think we're all going to, or several of us are going to give that a try. And be watching. Oh, if you guys haven't watched the video, I know I'm in the dark basically for the August NWA Prepper Challenge. It's really easy. The recipe that we just talked about could actually be your entry into it if you wanted. It's simply to cook a meal out of your long-term preps. And that's it. And there are no other guidelines. So if you want to make a bowl of rice is great. If you want to make salmon cakes, that's great too. But I really got to go change and get ready. Life of a fireman. Thanks guys. Have a great weekend.